Hey everybody, this is Tim here, and I'm just giving you an update on the Handcart. I've actually been doing quite a bit of work on it. I haven't done much for the last couple of days, but I figure I'd give you an update on what's been going on with the 1944 John Wood M3A4 Handcart. So let's take a look at it. Most of the work that I've been doing on this has been surrounding some of these bad welds. So you go down here, and this may not look very good right now, but if you saw what it looked like in the beginning, these were just big, ugly, fat welds. And since then, I've cleaned them up and I've added some JB weld around it. I'm still not completely happy with the way that this looks. And I think I may end up putting some body putty on there. I know everyone's like, ooh, ick, body putty, but if I removed any more of the welds and trying to clean them up anymore, I think that I would probably weaken the welds, and that's not really a good thing. So also you may notice that this shelf along here, this horizontal piece, is also much straighter than it used to be. And the way that I straighten that is I actually put that under my World War II Jeep on jack stands under the bumper, and I put a piece of bar metal underneath it and jacked it up to flatten it out. It's not perfect, but it's much, much better. And that's, it's a technique you can use if you don't have a press, which I don't. And I use the bar stock under the floor jack a couple times till I got it close, and then I finalized it without the piece of bar stock just to fix maybe a specific area. So another area where I've been working quite a bit has been over here. It probably looks like crap on this video, but if you saw it before, it's actually much, much better. And when you run your finger across it, it's much smoother than it looks. You kind of get some shadows and stuff. And again, this is a place where I might just put a little more body putty. I ground this down quite a bit. I used some JB weld on there and sanded and ground on that. I've done probably about 3 hours worth of grinding and sanding to get these things to where they're at, just to give you a perspective. Another thing I've done is I actually used a cutter to remove this this crossbar. Oh gosh, I'm having a brain cramp here. A spot welder cutter. I got some of those at Harbor Freight for like $3.50. And so what I did is I drilled a hole to create a guide for the spot weld cutter, and not a very deep hole. And then I used the spot weld cutter to cut around the outside, and then this just comes right off. So now I have a pattern for what I need. Obviously you can see where this one's one of the better ones. The other ones are kind of ugly, but these are just welded on there with 2 different spot welds. So you have to locate the spot welds. I drilled the hole in the middle, and then I used a spot weld cutter, and it just came right off. So I believe these are made out of 16 gauge. So, and I've already drawn up a pattern for these. And a friend of mine actually has a metal brake. These aren't too hard to make. The hardest part is getting this corner correctly and then getting the bend. And it's not super hard, but it's something you probably can't do without a metal brake. So my plan here is to remove the other 4 and then replace them with new ones, spot weld the new ones in there. So this body's kind of getting there. I want to do a little more sanding on the outside of this to get it ready for primer, and I don't want to be putting a bunch of body putty on there if I'm then just going to be sanding and moving it around. I want it a little better state than it's in right now. So we'll see about that. Not much has happened here with the axe. I have marked, this is the center line of the axle, and it's actually going to be covered by that bracket. So really this line I've marked here is where I need to clean up. This hasn't been cleaned up yet. I've just recently purchased some air tools. They're a little bit smaller, use 2-inch pads. And that should give me enough detail work that I can clean this up and make this look a lot better than it does right now. And I may have to use a little bit of JB Weld. I'm not as concerned about this piece because it's underneath the cart. It's a little bit ugly. A few places I can make that look a little bit better, but you know, kind of is what it is. Let's move over here. Just some other stuff. Again, I got a box of my parts from my friend that's down by Branson, and I already had this this bracket that goes underneath it. It mounts like this. It's got the rivets on. My friend actually has a rivet gun, so when I actually make the drawbar, I'll go out to his place and we'll rivet these on there. And then here's the lunette with its rivets. So again, this is the under end. I'm sorry, of the tongue, not the drawbar. This is the other end of the tongue, and its rivets are right there. So basically it's just a piece of pipe. I'm not sure how long it is. Looks like it's about probably 4.5 feet, maybe 4 feet. I'll measure it at some point here and go get some steel to do that. Also, I have the mounting bracket for the drawbar itself. I do have the drawbar. It didn't actually fit into this box, so I'll pick that up at some point. I have another drawbar I can use, but this just welds right on the front of the cart, like that. So that'll go pretty easy. And then I made some of these wooden blocks, and then again, this is where the tongue mounts in this. Again, this is just a 2x4. I did a little tutorial how to do that on the World War II handcart roundup. So, and I've got 2 of those. And some other parts that I just happen to have, I didn't necessarily need. I had 4 of these, which I don't need any of those. I'm just going to hold on to those for a later project. Another thing that I actually had with my parts is a repro data plate also. This is for an M6 cart, so I'm just going to hold on to that for perhaps another project or something a little bit later on. A few more things going on here. John Duckett's working on covers, the M500 handcart covers. So you can see I ordered the stencil and got this in. This was about $8. So when my canvas cover is done, I can actually use that. And I did get a grommet kit in. So this is just a piece of practice canvas with some of the rope that you use on the M500 cover. So I just took one of the brass grommets that came with it and just practiced making holes and adding grommets, and it actually went pretty well. So I'm not too worried about that. And here's some of the black grommets that I ordered. I think you need 26 per cart, which is kind of an odd number, but there's 24 of them here. I'm going to order probably a gross of these. That'll give me plenty to do 2 carts, and then 2 cart covers, and then I'll probably have a few extras in case I want to do another one. So anyway, that's where we're at with this particular handcart project. It's moving along, still needs a little more work, and so I'll give you an update probably after next weekend when I have a little more time to work on it. So that's it. Have a good day, and thanks for tuning in.